we will assist in providing immediate relief through the living condition of our troops, we still have more to be done, sir. Consequently, additional budgetary appropriation has been made in the 2022 fiscal year to ensure a full implementation of decongesting our military barracks in order to provide a suitable and conducive living condition for our service personnel and their families. Through your instrumentality, Your Excellency, the AFL has received some command and troop carrying vehicles, which are very essential to enhance the smooth mobility of our troops. Thank you, sir. We salute you. Your Excellency, on January 4, 2022, the Armed Forces of Liberia began its recruitment process as a call to duty for all qualified Liberians meeting the recruitment criteria to enlist in the AFL. This rigorous process will continue throughout the country, and cadets will be chosen on order of merit. Individuals wanting to enlist into the Liberian Armed Forces will undergo an independent vetting process, reflecting our commitment to the prospect and respect of basic human rights, integrity, commitment, and the core standards of our military values. That said, Your Excellency, I want to give special commendation to the outstanding performance of the Liberian contingent serving in the United Nations mission in Mali, as they continue to demonstrate the highest level of professionalism, commitment, and dedication in supporting the people of Mali while performing some of the most dangerous operations in that country. As part of the exercises in preparation to rotate the current Liberian troops, the Armed Forces of Liberia began pre-deployment training on 28 December 2021. This training is being conducted with the support and guidance of ECOWAS mentors, United States military personnel, as well as French and British special forces. These exercises are intended to provide strategic guidance, regimentation, and discipline to our men and women arms as they prepare for deployment. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, few months down the road, we will be entering our political season, a period that requires all Liberians to demonstrate their constitutional rights to affiliate, campaign, vote for a person or party of their choice. While the AFL prepares to support all civil authorities and other security organizations to ensure an uninterrupted political process, let me make it clear that the Armed Forces of Liberia will be apolitical. Our military facilities will not be used or a place for political gatherings, and individuals or vehicles entering our facilities will not be permitted to display political paraphernalia. We call on all Liberian politicians to demonstrate love and respect for the Liberian military by abiding by these rules as set forth by the Chief of Staff and the High Command of the Armed Forces of Liberia. To the families of our military, you have been instrumental in our success, and we want to extend our heartfelt thanks and appreciation to every family members of our soldiers, sailors, NCOs, and officers for their continued support and encouragement. You, their family, are the pillar of support we seek in building the morale of our troops. Thank you for being part of this worthy cause. To the men and women in arms, past and present, as we honor you today, I encourage you to continue your patriotism, commitment to being the people's army. It is a mission that you are called to execute, and it demands unparalleled excellence. No doubt our sub-region is volatile, from violent extremism to coup d'etats. Today, more than ever before, Liberians look up to you to be that protective force rather than interruptive force. You are the beneficiaries of that great legacy provided by those who came before you. And it is your task not only to uphold that legacy, but also to pass it on to those who will come after you. I thank you all, and I wish you a happy Armed Forces Day.
That was the voice of the Defense Minister in Honorable Daniel Sanka. So just keep following as we continue this process.
Madam Chief Joel Howard Taylor, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, the Speaker and members of the House of Representatives, His Honor, the Chief Justice and Associate Justices of the Republic of Liberia, the Pro Tem and members of the Liberian Senate, the Dean and members of the Cabinet, the Chief of Staff, and the guardian men and women of the Armed Forces of Liberia, Mr. Keynote Speaker, the Doyen and members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the international organizations, members of the Consular Corps, parliamentary bar here present, special invite time. It is my honor to invite the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Dr. George Monrovia, who will now come and make a special statement.
Please have your seat. Madam Vice President Joel Howard Taylor, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Pro Tempore, and members of the 54th Legislature here present, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, Associate Justices, and members of the Judiciary, the Dean and members of the Cabinet and other government officials here present, former government officials here present, our distinguished guest speaker, Babatunde, General Rogers, Brigadier General Zidane of the Doyen and Excellency members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, Mr. Chief of Staff, and the guardian men and women of the Armed Forces of Liberia, Mr. and Mrs. Dr. Classe, specialists of the 14th Military Hospital, traditional leaders, chiefs and elders, political and business leaders, religious leaders, members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We gather here today to commemorate Armed Forces Day, a day set aside to celebrate our men and women in arms for the many sacrifices they make in protecting our country, and also to remember our fallen heroes who have paid the ultimate price in defense of this nation. Today, I join our citizens in acknowledgement and appreciation of the loyalty, dedication, and commitment of the guardian men and women serving in the Liberian Armed Forces, as well as other paramilitary institutions in our country. Our country salutes you as heroes and heroines of our time. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this time when the war is plagued by a pandemic that continues to take the lives of millions, I'm thankful that Almighty God for sparing our lives in these stressful times. To all our visiting guests, we are glad to have you join us despite the tedious COVID-19 traveling protocols imposed around the world. At this juncture, may I ask that you will kindly join me to observe the moment of silence for all those who have lost their lives to this deadly disease, for the 29 persons who died in this recent stampede in Recruitment in Monrovia, and for all those gallant men and women of the armed forces of Liberia who lost their lives since the day was celebrated last year. Please stand. Thank you. You may have this. May their soul rest in perfect peace. May the light perpetual shine upon them. Amen. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I welcome you to this 2022 Armed Forces Day celebration, allow me to express the gratitude of the Liberian government, all of our foreign guests, dignitaries who have traveled from far to grace this occasion. Our citizens, most especially the members of the armed forces of Liberia, remain very appreciative of your presence. Our nation stands proud of the countless contributions of the Liberian military to the peace and development of our country and the world at large. Liberia can boast of tremendous successes emanating from support of our government and the level of training assistance provided by our foreign partners. However, changing times and circumstances in the war continue to pose challenges to the Liberian military, which include welfare, housing, and logistics for our soldiers, to name a few. Yet, in spite of these challenges, there have been some significant accomplishments, of which we are very proud. Fellow Liberians, 4 years ago, during my first Armed Forces Day speech, I promised that I will construct a hospital for our military, which will cater to the health needs of our men and women in arms and their families. Many thought that project was too ambitious and far-fetched to ever be completed. Our government is proud. Military hospital. Today I am pleased to inform you that the 14th Military Hospital in Guazon, Antibu County, has been dedicated and open for business. The 200-bed facility provides both inpatient and outpatient services and has brought relief to our servicemen and women and their families. Let me assure you that my government remains committed to the continuous modernizations and staffing of the 14 military hospitals to ensure that it will eventually be counted among the best in the West African region. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our government is fully aware of the numerous challenges currently facing our military, most of which negatively impact morale among soldiers, as well as the recruitment of force, development of the armed forces of Liberia. Accordingly, we have begun the renovation of military barracks around the country as a way of providing remedy to congestion within the facilities currently in use. In this regard, renovation works are presently ongoing at the NURBN Kesseley Barracks in Shuffler, while renovation works at the Zwetri Military Barracks in Rangida County, the Camp Todi Military Barracks in Todi, Oswald County, and the Vojima Military Barracks in Vojima. Our county will soon follow suit. Additionally, as a way of further decongesting EBK military barracks, further ensuring that our servicemen and women and their families are provided adequate and conducive living quarters, I hereby announce the construction of an additional 25 housing units and 5 multi-purpose bathroom facility within the EBK barracks while we continue. At the same time, to explore other possibilities that will ensure that the quality of life within the walls of our military facilities in and around the country continuously improve. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our country's security remains a paramount concern to my government, and as a result, we are taking steps to ensure that the force capacity of the armed forces of Liberia is commensurate with our nation's current and perceived threats, as well as our international obligation to maintain world peace. In this regard, we are taking the necessary step to ensure that the Liberian troops serving in the UN mission in Mali have all the needed logistics and weaponry as required to enable them to effectively carry out their responsibilities in that theater. As a result of this, our government continues to receive resounding acclamations, commendations of the professionalism, dedication, commitment, and valor of the Liberian contingent deployed in the MINUSMA mission in Mali. For once, it is clear for all to see that Liberia is making positive strides in contributing to global peace among the community foundations. In order to continue along this positive trajectory, as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia, I have ordered that 1,000 additional soldiers be recruited into the Liberian Armed Forces for the first batch of 350 personnel has already started in and around the country. We will continue subsequently as our fiscal space permits. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our government has begun taking requisite actions to remedy the issues of troop mobility in the military. Our soldiers must have the capacity to respond when the need arises, regardless of which part of Liberia requires their intervention. In this regard, the government has made available 20 off-road vehicles to the armed forces of Liberia for both military operations and administrative use. Now, instruct the Minister of National Defense to review the files of both enlisted men and officers of the armed forces and ensure that all those who qualify are promoted to the next rank with immediate effect. Now, fellow Nigerians, while the welfare of our troops remain our utmost priority, the government is equally committed to our military family, most especially the children. They are hereby direct that the Minister of Defense work in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Finance to ensure that the Grade D Addison High School at the ETC Barry and the Linda Thomas Greenfield High School at the EBK Barry are fully equipped with stand-up computers and science labs. The last students and key facilities to have adequate computer knowledge before their graduation. May I also use this occasion to announce the construction and completion of the Monrovia Vocational Center for Army Wives at the Edward B. Military Bank. This facility will shortly be dedicated and will provide life-sustaining skills to the spouses of our men and women now. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, each Armed Forces Day is celebrated honor a team purposely chosen to align with the efforts of the road and future training needs and requirement of the Armed Forces of Liberia. Hence, the theme of this year's celebration, interagency cooperation as a panacea for contemporary security challenges, no doubt coincides with our current occurrences in the body politic of our country. Our ability to effectively solve our nation's problem while at the same time preparing for future challenges will not only require that we work cooperatively together in government as a whole, but effectively collaborate beyond traditional boundaries into national unified collective approach. This approach requires collective attitude, information sharing for the common good of our country. I therefore call on all Liberians, regardless of religion, creed, or ethnic background, to work peacefully together to develop our country. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to thank our guest speaker, Ambassador Babatunde Ola Rewaju Ajin Sumo, representative of the ECOWAS chairperson to Liberia, for such a thoughtful and insightful speech. Guest speaker in depth understanding, commitment to peace and security in the West African region made him best suited to serve at this year's Guest Speaker in Monrovia. Ambassador Kakisumu, we recognize the good judgment and recommendations in ways to promote peace, collaboration, national and regional, most particularly as we move towards the 2023 presidential and legislative elections. Thank you for sharing the wisdom and experience with us. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in every celebration, Armed Forces Day, we recognize the award the Distinguished Service Order, DSO, to individuals who outstanding contributions have had a significant impact on the growth and development of the armed forces of Liberia, our national and humanity. As Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia, it is my increasing duty to duly recognize and congratulate this year's Distinguished Service Order Award recipient, Excellency Baba Tunde Nabi Adisumo, former Edwards Ambassador in Liberia, Honorable Aminu Usman Guna, Colonel Banga Sunday Ayula, Colonel Emmanuel Chukwu, Colonel Ismaila Suli, Lieutenant Colonel Adukadi Yahaya, Colonel Badu Handel, Lieutenant Colonel George Lotte Abledi Lotte, Staff Sergeant Adu Kennedy, Lieutenant Colonel Mohammed Abu Bakar Suare, Colonel Chris White, Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Monto, Lieutenant Colonel Matthew Adin, Major Eric B. Willie, my fellow Liberian, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. The history of the growth and development of the Liberian military is characterized by many challenges, difficulties. Nevertheless, this is the future-filled with hope and aspiration. I therefore urge you to continuously see our military as a true representation of all Liberian citizens. Our soldiers must be seen as citizen soldiers of the people as they perform their duty. Let me assure you that my government is committed to providing as much as possible within our budgetary constraint to ensure that the armed forces of Liberia is being the force for. The process of building the armed forces of Liberia to meet competing security demands of our country and the world is on track. Above all, we appreciate all the training opportunities provided by our partners. The Liberian government remains proud and appreciative of your continuous support for our men and women in arms. Fellow Liberians, our country's future is bright, and And we must work together to support our armed forces. Once again, let me express my delight that our soldiers continue to exemplify the attributes of true servicemen and women. I am particularly proud of the armed forces of Liberia contributions in the UN missions in Mali, South Sudan, and the Republic of Sudan. I would like to also express my personal thanks and appreciation to my Defense Minister, Major General Daniel D. Yanga Jr., the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia, Major General Green C. Johnson Patel, the AFL High Command, and the authorities of the Ministry of National Defense for ably steering the affairs of the armed forces of Liberia during these past years. I also wish to thank our partners, the United States government, the government of the Republic, the People's Republic of China, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Republic of Ghana, the Arab Republic of Egypt, for their continued support to the Ministry of National Defense and the Armed Forces of Liberia. Most importantly, we express our gratitude to our military partner, the ECOWAS Advisory Training Team. Mentorship and training provided by you continue to enhance both the administrative and operability of the AFL. Special thanks also go to our neighboring partner, the government of the Republic of Guinea, for the support to the AFL Peninsula operation. To the families of our men and women in arms, we want to thank you for the support to our servicemen and women. You continue to demonstrate your love for our country by granting them this important support while they are serving.
I want to put him
For our government and women in arms,
Let put that in my bag before you flag on the water.
salute you. Thank you for your service to our nation. Continue to demonstrate the keen sense of patriotism and representation as a citizens' army, while bearing the flag that binds us together as country. Despite the numerous challenges you have faced, you have stayed the course. You have remained committed to keeping the peace, as well as building on the gain we have made over the years. I wish you happy 65th Armed Forces Day. May God bless you all.
I won't be. She's going to come around. It's not holding it up. I can go ahead. So that was the voice of
Distinguished
the
ladies and gentlemen,
of
the Commander of Troops, Major Stephen Timothy Poe, will now prepare the troops and request permission from the Commander-in-Chief and Armed Forces of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Dr. George Monrovia, for the past in review. Ladies and gentlemen, please have your seat. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once more, the commander of troops for today's parade is Major Stephen Timothy Poole. Major Stephen Timothy Poole is an infantry officer in the Infantry Corps of the Armed Forces of Liberia. Members of his staff includes Major James D. Family, the parade adjutant, Captain Stephen Wa Kamara, the Logistics Command, the Labrador Coast Guard, Second Lieutenant Ansu Sharif, Logistics Command, Captain Pa Urias Zoga, the 23rd Infantry Brigade, Second Lieutenant Francis A. Wisse, Legal Officer, Medical Command, and Command Sergeant Major Makate Gwisi.
When I go again on this thing, that's something you need to do about this. Who's the president, Loisy?
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, here comes the commander of troops and the joint staff of today's parade. company. Our company is commanded by Second Lieutenant Lambo Brown. And the company first sergeant is Jefferson Bobby. Charlie Company follows. Charlie Company, our first battalion is commanded by Second Lieutenant Sam A.F. Johnson. And the company first sergeant is Sergeant Emmanuel Ryan. Let's go on to the Second Infantry Battalion, commanded by Captain Emmanuel Dude Obi Protocol Wilson. Our company is commanded by Second Lieutenant Abraham N. Dodo. And the company first sergeant is Fire Francis.